clear with 100 metres to go for Walker. Saracen Knight's flying an Irish flame who needs the line, and the Knight's got it.
Tranquilla straightens up now. Shamrock Lou the leader. Kazza Tranquilla's coming, but so is the post. Shamrock Lou.
Crusader won't run a place. Prime Candidate in front. He's getting tired. Bottega and Purple Sector charging. Prime Candidate.
Arnie's Boy levels up to Butley Lad. Butley Lad, Arnie's Boy. Arnie's Boy poked his nose in front. Arnie's Boy did a little too well.
G'day punters, welcome to the Deep Dive, the show that's just going to be a little bit of a therapy session, but we're going to start with, are we calling this a sting, Curls? Are we calling it a rort? What's the way that we're describing Toowoomba Race 3, the race won by Rock Beat, that was sponsored by the Plastics?
Well, it's only a rort if you're not in on it, and we were in on this one, so this is a sting, I assume. Is this the part where I give myself a big rap for reading the race correctly and then tell everyone why I got it right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, self-promotion. It's the only way to go.
There is no interest like self-interest because it's the only interest. So, yeah, race 3 Toowoomba. We were on Rock Beat here. Now, hopefully we can cross to a little bit of the vision here from the start of this race in particular. Mm-hmm. Now, I would normally reference the steward's report in these instances. But as we record this show at 10:15 Monday morning, there is still no steward's report from Toowoomba from Saturday that's been published as yet.
At all. There's nothing.
There's nothing. There's no steward's report. So what we'll do is we'll dissect the data and the vision and we'll make our own opinion. We'll form our own opinions because we live and die by we live and die by our opinions. So we're entitled to it.
Right. So data-wise, I've got it here. Race 3 Toowoomba, 1,200 metres, Class 6, set weight, blah, blah, blah. Rock Beat has settled 8th in run. The leader, which is Pierre Day.
There was three abreast. Pierre Day, Piracy and Catesby.
And they've gone very fast for the class. They've gone 9 lengths faster than average to the 600.
It's fairly motoring, isn't it? 9 lengths faster than average.
Not holding back. All right, so who are these 3 horses? What's going on here?
So if we have a look at the vision from the start, like 1,200 metre start, now Pierre Day has absolutely pinged the lids and has crossed down to the fence by the 1,000 and crossed Piracy within 200 metres. Catesby's coming across. So straight away you can see here that you're anticipating Pierre Day leads. Catesby sits outside it. Piracy behind the leader. So that's sort of the way that the race shape looked to take, pretty quickly. Within 200 metres. Now, just up passing the 200, Alex Pattis on Piracy, the other Tony Sears runner in the race, then comes off the fence, which doesn't allow Catesby to come across and sit outside the leader so Dittman doesn't shorten her up. And then we see Piracy absolutely give it to the leader. Now, I think by this stage, it's fair to say that Pierre Day couldn't hand up the fence. Like, you get to the 800-metre point over a 1,200-metre race, you've got the rail.
Yep.
It's fair to assume that he shouldn't have to give up the fence. Alex Pattis on Piracy says, well, I'm going to give it to you anyway. Catesby's 3 deep. And then the stablemate Rock Beat sort of launches from the 700 metres, whips around them and sustains a long run. Now, at this stage of the race, Catesby's continued to kick and has gone absolutely enormous. Probably the run of the meeting. It's hung on to run 3rd. And we see, back in the field, Piracy's been beaten 8 and Pierre Day's been beaten 12. They've gone out 9 lengths quicker. I don't know if there's anything in the steward's report. I would be absolutely shocked if there wasn't, because, the ride on Piracy was, disgraceful. Not only give it no chance, but also ensured that Pierre Day and and Catesby couldn't win as well. So that's how I sort of mapped the race anyway. So I was glad to see it. I actually thought she might have held the fence, but when she got crossed, I was so pleased to see her come off the fence and torch the leader and ensure that the speed was good enough for Rockbeat. There was a bit of support for Rockbeat through the day. He was like I think he was like as much as $4 after scratchings and sort of well found in a 360. So, race went to plan and on and off the track.
Beauty. So what, next start with Catesby? Just
look, it's like how big's it gone? Like,
yeah.
It's gone enormous. There was Ledoux ran on from the back. It was entitled to. I thought 05 Glory was plain. The sort of 1200 sort of sees it out, particularly run at that tempo. So, look, as far as where we go to from there with these runners and how we assess the form, it's, I think Catesby's the run of the race for sure. Now it's been up for a little bit, so whether that might have sort of flattened it out, who knows, for the prep, but it was a huge effort, but I'm glad we're on the winner.
Okay, now we have to talk about the Weetwood because you're pretty bullish on a couple of horses on the live show and you've gone really close without any joy. So bear with me. You're having to relive a couple of painful moments, I'm sure.
Yep.
Overview. Take it away.
Just let me know when we look at that graphic. But look, once again, the tempo sort of worked out as I anticipated. Look, it's only a $125,000 listed race, but there were some really poor decisions there in the race, probably with the speed. Particular the ride on Master Jamie, just basically torched the leaders again. The Odyssey was one I sort of mentioned in the preview that we're happy to take it on. It'll sort of be on speed and it'll get stitched up for sure. Question mark at 1200 around Toowoomba, and that's sort of how it played out, which was handy. So what we sort of identified was a few horses that we wanted to be on. I ended up having 3 bets for the service. We're on Bandipur at some $20-something. We're on Snitch mid 13, 15, something like that.
Yep.
And we're on Red Chase. We took $8.50, I think, Red Chase. Started $5.50 equal favourite or second favourite. So we got to a stage. So with the speed on, we get to the 800-metre mark. And then I really thought that we were going to win. I thought that far out, I thought one of these 3 will win. This is set up perfectly. Got a locally trained horse, Jaden Tom, who was 3 wide the entire. Have we got the still shot up there from the 800?
Yeah. We'll bring that up now.
We've got Jaden Tom we've got a really good speed up front. We've got Jaden Tom midfield, the eventual winner. He was 3 wide the entire, but sort of Mallion's taken it from the 800, just sort of got outside the horse in front of it, so he'd had clear air. Now, I think once again I walked the track. I said they want to be away from the fence here today because it's a fresh pad and it's just a bit softer and they aerated it. Lane 6 to 8 is the place to be in the straight. That's what I sent out. Mallion sort of got in a position. Now, if we have a look from the 800, the winner's in the blue, my arrow, that's an arrow. Try to draw an arrow there. The blue arrow. The 3 horses we backed are behind it. So we've got Red Chase in the red colours, Bandipur, which is just obscured on the outside of the red and white colours there in the blue jacket. Red and white colours back to the inside was Snitch. So approaching the 800, I thought, well, one of these 3 are surely going to continue to pull wider here and put themselves in the race. All 3 elect to stay in. At this point in time, we get to the 600. Red Chase is now buried back along the fence. Snitch has lost its spot. It's back last. Bandipur is held up on heels behind runners in front of it as well. Meanwhile, you've got the eventual winner, continuing to get wider and clear running. So we've got 3 horses held up. And then Red Chase sort of diving back to the inside, which was, certainly not the place to be. And and Jaden Tom somehow, and congratulations, whatever. I'm here for the punters, not the owners. They got lucky. Red Chase should have won the race. Probably a little bit of pocket talk there, but and because of the price on the day, I went again a couple of times on a few of these horses myself, so it was quite sick. They've ran second and fourth, and Red Chase was, I don't know how far in front it was, a few metres after the post, but it was anyway. It should have won. So yeah, just the way it goes, I suppose. But anyway,
Vanderpool was enormous as well. It gets held up about 2 or 3 times in the straight to go with the fact that it didn't have any momentum at all entering.
Yeah, which is a momentum track, as you see. Anyway, short straights, everything else. I thought Fiery Heights was enormous out of that race, up on speed. Boom Sarah raced well, but yeah, look, overall, I think there is an advantage for the locally trained horses here just because of the way the track is. It's very undulating, uphill, downhill runs. So, I think Red Chase to be the horse to follow out of that. I think it's going to go get into a summer carnival, preparation. And out of all those horses in that race, he's the clear one to follow into its preparation for sure.
All right, we'll just touch on the Cup as well in race 7. Waller Dittman, licensed to print money. Is that just as simple as that?
Well, yeah, look, we spoke about this one on the live show. I don't know whether I've done myself any favours here. I sort of tipped this on the live show at $9 and $10, and it's SP'd 480. And by the time this thing's gone to, by the time this thing's jumped, even by the time we got to race morning, I couldn't send it out as a bet because it was a bit short. He doesn't love winning, Al Ward. He's he's sort of looked to win a few times in his preps, the last couple, and sort of hasn't got the job done. But look, he probably lucky we just got the bobbing on the day, I think, and those people that did watch the live show and took the price available will be wrapped. And I just couldn't make it a bet at the price, at jump.
Yep.
But yeah, just got the bobbing, got a good ride. Like you say, the combination's deadly, so well done. I also mentioned Thursday night that I had a share in a horse that we were sort of set for the Cup, Factory Warrior, and he ran third. I thought he ran really well. I actually didn't even know he ran a place because I was just watching Elwood and I was sort of getting the lean going as I getting close to the line. I had to sort of go scan back and see where my horse was, and I see it hung on for third, so I was pretty happy. But yeah, look, it's not a form. It won't be a form race going forward or anything like that. It's just a pretty ordinary field, to be honest. Free to Fly was third up 2,000, so it's probably one that would be a very good winning chance in 2 weeks' time as a 2,200 metre Queensland Cup. I think he'd be a leading chance in that. I think that the third up 2,000 probably just told a bit late. But he'd be out of this race. Free to Fly is Free Fly 2. Sorry, is the horse that I'd be following into that Brisbane Cup in 2 weeks' time.
All right, sweet. It was a good weekend for yourself. About 12 units spent, about 20 odd back?
Yeah, we had a sting at the coast. We had a 5-unit bet on. We only had one bet at the Gold Coast on Saturday. We had 5 units on Shamrock Lou. First to admit that we got lucky. The second horse wanted to lay in up the straight, and when they straightened the second horse up, it did flash late, but we held on. So, not upset about that. I didn't really bet too much at Toowoomba. I sort of said earlier in the day that I was a bit concerned with inside off and the headwind, and we only outlaid something like 7 units, I think, or 6 units for the day. Sorry, for the entire day. So, just happy to get a win there, and overall, it was a pretty good weekend, really.
Bloody outstanding. All right.
The best story from the weekend was, remember I said about that unraced 2-year-old?
Yeah.
The untrialled 2-year-old, that's the one in the back?
Yeah.
And she fell off. Horse was bolting coming to the corner. She's clipped heels and fell off. The only good thing to come out of that was the bloke I was with, who's a terrible punter. He got a $5,000 bonus bet from Sportsbet as a justice payout.
Wow. So,
and this is how bad of a punter he is. He had the $5,000 on Jaden Tom in the Weetwood and they accepted the bet, and it's lobbed at $21. It's true story. True story. Couldn't believe it.
Wow. Outstanding.
Anyway, I should have got a couple of I should have taken a photo of his phone for proof, but I saw it with my own eyes. I couldn't believe it. Jeez. Anyway, it was good. I think the races that we covered on the live would have been really profitable for the guys playing at home. So make sure you tune in this Thursday night.
Yep, absolutely. Worth following, worth being there for the live stings. Jack Dickens.
Boys?
Darcy. I almost want Darcy's opinion.
I didn't anticipate such a long deep dive into Toowoomba. It was very interesting, but he's gone through a whole piece of toast, half a banana. Now he's onto the sultanas. See how long we get out of him. But yeah.
All right, we're going to walk you through the big races anyway, like the keys. And obviously, Russian Camelot's just returned with an enormous figure here. Finally, just put it all together on a decent tempo, and just launched.
So what's he ended up running at 14.1?
14.0.
14.0. That's a bigger figure than Liz Cruchot run to win the Cox Plate last year. The sort of one knock on Russian Camelot up till now was that he hadn't actually run a huge figure. But now he's done that. He's now won 2 Group 1s. He sat outside lead and ran a big figure. I think it's a enormous performance. If you tune into RSN, we've Pete and I pushed this horse to win the Cox Plate at $9. I doubt it's $9 now. I haven't checked, but everything looks to be on track. If anything, the horse has sort of added to its ability to win by proving it's got tactical speed and the ability to be put into a race, which can be key at Moonee Valley. So, very, very big performance. We had a few questions about Pike's ride on Arcadia Queen. I don't think it wins if it follows Russian Camelot. I think Humidor went pretty well the same part of the track. I think Pike's riding awful, and he's like a C grader in Victoria. He slaughtered a bunch of them on Friday night. Got a few wrong on Wednesday. Got a stack wrong on Saturday. But Arcadia Queen is probably one of his stronger rides. It's a horse with feet issues, so I think the softer they're going, probably the better. I fear that he's going to ride Old Kirk, which we've also backed in the futures in the Guineas. And Ollie's, I don't know if they've announced this yet, but Ollie's, I think, riding Mahunga. So that's pretty scary for our futures bet. But Old Kirk, despite Rob not finding it, Pete and I, we stuck fat and just backed the Quinella there in that good race in Sydney, thank God. That was big. Yep. Anyway, Humidor's flying. Arcadia Queen, I think you can. If the shoes come off, the bar plates come off, then it's a whole new setup, and I think you need to be very respectful of her. But I don't think any of them ever beat Russian Camelot if he's sweet on the day, because if he gets like a better race with a better horse and gets a cover and toe into the race, he probably puts him away better. He was probably stronger than anything for the last 100 metres. I haven't checked that on the data, but to the eye, he was not sort of stopping. That's just sitting outside lead. Like, it's a huge performance, huge horse. And the market, like, you guys would have seen the market. Like, I thought it might get out to a better price, and I was going to be tempted to sort of bet. But they just kept backing this thing. And I actually rang Walshy, and I said, like, do you reckon they were, like, backing this thing or just avoiding it? Like, Bookie's just avoiding it. He goes, no, it's relentless. It started, I think he said it was down to, like, 1.58 on the fair even.
Yeah. It was, you mentioned Liz Cruchot, it was pretty reminiscent of that Cox Plate move where it was just relentless cash and just everyone was jumping on, didn't matter what price, it was just taking more and more of it.
Yeah. So let's now talk about the Phillies Prelude.
Yep.
Whatever that was called.
The 1,000 Guineas Prelude over 1,400.
I had a really, really good week. I don't know what the units were, but they were good. Won well Wednesday, won well Friday night, was winning Saturday. And I think this is where I sort of mentally just got a bit hurt, greyed up and feeling frustrated. I thought this thing was immoral. Then when I watched the Colts version of the previous race, and it was just basically they came home as they went out. Even the it might have been the leader was a price horse that doesn't lead, got blinkers on, led, and it still run fourth or something. So I was like, it's going to be pretty hard for this thing to run on. The market went that way. She was soft in betting late. And I thought, just sit it out. You don't need to launch at this thing. Because there's going to be a 4 or 5 unit bet. And she's absolutely killed them. Big performance. I think she'll win the Guineas, the fillies version of the Guineas pretty easily. I think 350 is good odds if it's still there. Like, no horse did that all day from my memory, what she did. And I think he had a lot more. He could have asked her for a lot more if he had to. Yeah. It was half like a barrier trial for her. Yeah. I think the slower they go, which they often do, like they're going to go to a mile, and the fillies brigade look pretty limited, so they're probably going to go pretty slow, if anything. Like they'd be favourite to go slower than to go real quick. And I think she's just going to kill them even easier because she's going to be close enough with that more just talented turn of foot than the rest of these. I think that race is going to be pretty boring. Just bet and hope she gets all the right run. I think she'll be very hard to beat in a good race. Then what I did in the last race, great week, but I still feel sick about the week because it was really got stuck in a non-conformist. Couldn't get over the run last start, and like you see my sheets, Pete. The only horse in the race I liked was Juniper, and I don't know what I did. I'm still shitty about it, but Juniper is flying. Ma and Eustace are flying, and they have a really good ability of keeping horses in good form, like Argaleo on Friday night. Like the market didn't know what to do with it, and it just killed them.
Yeah.
The market didn't know what to do with Juniper. It was like a yo-yo. There was people like me going non-conformist, and it would crunch a little bit. And then there's someone going, nah, Juniper, and it would crunch a bit. And then the little hot workers, which we followed a little bit, going, Shot of Irish will win. Lambing is very profitable at Caulfield for whatever reason. It ran a good race, jumped clean, put into the race, but don't know what to do with non-conformist. Made a big error. Race 9. Of the Colts division in the Guineas, way back Savannah Cloud, Prague, who 2 minutes after the race had colic. Well, yeah, I know. But it did have it before. And we backed Camborne, who I think Camborne and Asar were the 2 runs of the race. Just if you go for 2 more minutes, you'll be a legend. Camborne was good, but I just don't. If Old Kirk comes, it'll win, and if Mahunga's coming, which it is, I think they'll fight out the race. Those 2 just be like which gets a better barrier draw, who's suited by the way the track plays that day.
Yeah.
But I know for a fact, I'm very confident that Old Kirk was not meant to win, or there to win on Saturday, and has beaten the horse that from the same yard that was. We know they're a grand final yard. I'd be shocked if they go from a preparation of we're going to win the Caulfield Guineas over 600 metres to no, let's go back to run 5th in an Everest over 1,200 metres. What do you 2 think of that?
Hey, what's this grand final talk? Old Kirk wasn't meant to beat North Pacific on Saturday.
I think the stable was keener for North Pacific to win. A little birdie told me, mate of a mate, that Michael might have knocked it off. One of them, I don't know who it was actually, but one of them knocked it off, and it was an enormous collect on North Pacific.
Wow.
Will Wayne be in charge of? Will Wayne be in charge of Ole Kirk if it's in Melbourne?
I assume so. I think Dad pulls the strings, but
we'll hope one of the other boys from Sydney are coming down, or else he can't win.
Oh, he did all right with Doubtland.
Never heard of it. I haven't watched that race yet. I haven't gone back and watched that race. The whole state of Queensland's in mourning over Rothfire, so we haven't gone back to revisit it.
Yeah, what's it done? A sesamoid or something like that?
Fractured sesamoid.
Yeah.
Sounds very serious.
Very serious injury, yeah.
Yeah, and look, clearly wasn't suited how the race unfolded as well. It seemed like every single other horse wanted to try and have a piece of him up front, and last three ran first three.
Anything in the stewards report there? I haven't.
Oh.
Watch the Sydney show. I'm sure the boys dived into it.
Yeah, I think we did from memory. Dickens, anything else? Saracen Knight, I think we probably just have to have a quick word on.
Oh, sweet Lord Jesus. Sweet Lord.
Who?
To the guy out of the Bible, bro. Yeah, bro.
You talking about Lloyd Williams, or who are you talking about?
Nick.
Did you say
Lord
Sweet
God.
Lloyd Williams
Nick.
or Sweet Lord Jesus? I didn't hear.
Nick, son of God. Jesus. Jesus. You like that? He likes my gear, the boy. We backed the Quinella, but it was a much bigger result. Irish Flame, and both hit $1 in play. Both hit hundreds in play, I think. Chaos race. I don't know if Mickey Walker went a bit early, and then I don't know if he was just exhausted or the horse was, or he thought he was home. But everyone was pretty tired at the end.
They went 10 lengths fast to the 600. The horse was just like basically on empty.
I haven't looked because I don't care, but I wonder if, I bet you they've got about the same speed as Boozeron went that day when the apprentices got three weeks.
Give me a sec. I'm bringing it up now. So they went on the adjusted figure 14 fast to the 600.
Class. So
no. This is the adjusted.
But the stewards should be using the class if they're going to judge specific rides.
Yep. Well, Lord Boozeron went. That was the first time it raced at Caulfield when it won. It went 10.8 on the adjusted fast. So this race was 3.2 lengths faster. And it was 5 lengths faster on the class.
It's just comical, eh? Anyway, I reckon good horse, Lord, good horse, the winner.
Yeah.
It'll go somewhere and win. I worry we've sort of missed the price now, Irish Flame. We've backed it quietly and not really talked about that horse almost every start this prep. We backed it first up off a good trial. It kind of always runs second, third or fourth and runs pretty well despite whatever bias, whatever it's suited. It's a nice horse, consistent horse, this Irish Flame. I think you can follow it, but I just worry that might be the last time for a while you get like $35, whatever we took.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
But it was still a good result for us and set us up to, we were in front till the last race again at Caulfield. Almost 3 from 3 winning sets, but probably, really I've deep dived a few decisions and learned a few things from the day. Also, underbet our Galileo Friday night, which I think was just kind of like like Curly get this, like the constant pressure of betting and making decisions for everyone. I just kind of had enough of it, and I thought, I think it'll win. Hey, bro. I think it'll win, but I don't want to blow away completely blow away the lead here, so I just chipped at it instead of just going, this is its own bet, going to make another decision here.
Yep.
What do you think of that, Curls?
Yeah, it's a thing for sure. Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm just going to finish off with the Belmont therapy session. It was a day where rails and run was essential, and it was pretty obvious after race one when a 100-to-1 shot or whatever it was ran third. And there was just a case of trying to back everything that I thought would be rails and run at some stage later in the card. And we've backed Arnie's Boy, we've backed Lucky Linda Lulu, we've backed Bedoin Bell, and then Pulley, and then also Cup Night. And it's just been
What about Arnie's Boy?
Yeah.
Is Arnie's Boy the drifter?
Yeah, it drifted out to double figures, and the market just it's really funny how the market doesn't seem to take into account track bias. We've seen this quite a few times, especially in Melbourne. Just like all the real big data syndicates just keep smashing things that they're happy to back, and they don't take any real thought into what the actual track pattern is for the day. But yeah, Arnie's boy drifted and won. It was just bolting the whole way up the straight. The ride on Pulley, I think, was the slaughter of the year. And look, I love Donga, Sean O'Donnell, but you're on a horse that can lead. It's a day where leaders, precautionary, just pissed in. Gemma's son, likewise. Money Matters, exactly the same. You're on a horse that can lead. Why wouldn't you lead and then just put yourself in a coffin? Jason Brown and Spillanova, like Britain, Lockie Taylor just would have been loving it. They just rolled to the front at 40s and just killed them. And meanwhile, we're just stuck on Pulley, just like having a great time on Slaughter of the Year. Stageman found the fence in race 8 in the Black Art Bart Stakes and held on by an absolute bee's diaphragm over Cup Night. They was just hooning up that fence late at 20s. And then the only horse to win off the fence the entire day was Don's Legacy, who was 3 wide without cover in the last, which we luckily saved on. But lucky Linda Lulu, again, backed it at 10, 950, had more on at 8, had more on at 750. It's jumped 650, and it's only clear with the last 100, and then lost all momentum with about 50 metres to go. It was one of those days. I don't think I could have bet better on that card and just had 3 seconds to finish it. Was just absolutely crippling, but it's still a winning set. It continues this afternoon at Belmont. Hopefully the track plays. It won't play the same. It will play different, but it was a great day. It was one of those days where you have your form done and you rip it up and you put it back together in a way that you think will be suited for that card that presents on the day. Just have to adjust in run. That's all I got. I'm still mentally crippled by it. Could have been a 40-unit collect.
Oh, I can't add anything because I was feeling your pain I'm reliving your pain as you're saying all these words.
Oh, if you guys were backing them, Kells, I don't know how far deep you were by this stage because Toowoomba Cup Days just finished and you're actually able to drink and carry on and go on course and all that sort of stuff and collect rolls of cash with your name on it. But if you missed the bets, you probably were doing okay. You didn't have to live through the pain.
You've got to stay sharp on late Saturday afternoons for these. You seem to just, I don't know what it is with these Perth cards, but there seems to be a lot of action late. You just got to be switched on for them.
Yeah. Oh, there's often no action up until about 2 minutes, 3 minutes to go because you've got Rose Hill often towing right into it. So As soon as Darren Flindell's called him across the line, then it's all systems go at Belmont. But last meeting at Belmont today, the Savo, we've got Kalgoorlie Cup round this week. Just the madness that will be on course and through the town of Kalgoorlie, the city of Kalgoorlie. The roads aren't wide enough for that, for the chaos that will be there this week. And then it's back to us.
Is that like the fly in, fly out minors and that?
Yeah, but I think the whole of racing Twitter in Perth is flying there, and it's just going to be debauchery and, full of piss and bad manners. All these like city folk trying to go up against the locals of Kalgoorlie. There will be more black eyes than a family of raccoons in Kalgoorlie.
Sounds sweet, mate.
Am I sweet? I've done 3 meetings, 4 meetings, 5 meetings, 6. I've done 7 meetings in the last 48, 72 hours, and I've got 1 more this Arvo. I'm good.
Where was it last night? Shartin?
Yeah, Shartin. Northam didn't have a bet, just did all the form and watched every race and just couldn't.
He keeps his Shartin mail to himself, Punis.
It's my. That's the way I unwind, is by doing Hong Kong form and then just screaming at myself. It's good. It's therapeutic. It's cathartic. Okay, week ahead. Curls, what do you got?
Gold Coast on Wednesday. betting there. Betting at Ipswich on Friday. And then on Saturday, we have Gold Coast, Eagle Farm, and Toowoomba. Unfortunately, Charleville is a non-tab meeting on Saturday at the Central Warrego Race Club, so I won't be able to bet there.
You'll have someone on course, though, won't you?
There will be, yeah.
Okay, Dickens, you've got Geelong Thursday, Ballarat Wednesday, Valley Friday night, Flemington for the Turnbull on Saturday.
Yeah, might find one at Kyneton on Sunday, but I doubt it. Yeah, I'll probably we'll do race by race at Ballarat, but we'll probably bet a fair bit at Geelong or 2 or 3 races. I love betting there. Then yeah, big meeting with Valley, big meeting with Flemington. Turnbull Stakes Day, I think.
Yeah.
Surprise baby. I've had the Sugarman into a few little speculators yesterday, including Surprise baby. He's a god, the Sugarman.
Give it strength.
Oh, if he continues as he is for the rest of this month, which is only a few more days, I'm going to put a statue of him out the front here in Seaford. I love it.
The house that Sugar built.
The Shanes. Shanes can bet. If your name's Shane, you've got an edge.
Like Warney included?
He went all right, didn't he? I'm pretty sure he backed Rekindling the year I won the Melbourne Cup too, Warney. The KSL Horn, the Sheik of Toik.
Okay, very good, guys. Thank you. We'll jump on board for the Mailbag Live this Thursday night. If you're not involved, get involved because it's the only place where you get Ciurleo mail and stings and bets. That thing I tipped at 80s, Unitime was beaten by a nose out of 4th as well.
It was.
What did it start?
Oh, you could take 110 on the fair. We had another little bet there late for the service. It was good.
What about our man? He goes, you're on. But he was taking unders of one of Curly's. He was on a bit of late.
All right, signing off. Go well. See you Thursday on the live show.
Thursday.
Go for now.